Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I'm Liz Quinn, your Star Scentsy consultant. So today what I have for you is my weekly What I've Been Warming, and we will start with the warm review of the scent of the month for September, which is going to be Spooky But Sweet, and it's so good, you guys. If you have any experience with Gimme Candy and or Scary Good, meet in the middle, and that is this bar. It is so nice. It is extremely sweet, but it's got enough depth to be interesting, and it does hold its own in a warmer for a good long time. So it's got nutmeg, it's got maple, it's got a sweet caramelized candy vanilla, and it is just darn delicious. And I am really looking forward to melting tons of this fall. So I got through, I think, 2 bars or 1.5 bars, because I also made samples of that. And at the same time, I was looking over some of the bars from our Gordy Goodness collection, which at this very moment, Scentsy has paused and put on back order. You can still order them, but it will take a little while to get them because they have to produce more. So that collection, which was 5 bars, 4 of which were brand new, I have 3 of the ones I was a little more unsure about here on the table that I wanted to melt through twice before I re-recommended them. The Hollow Harvest is an absolute home run, and then still I think my second favorite is the Spiced and Spirited. Now we've also got the Very Good Pumpkin and the Pumpkin Sticky Bun, and I will talk about those here as well. This Spiced and Spirited, I really like it because it's a bourbony, very sweet brown sugar. There must be some pumpkin in here too, but caramelized gourmand scent that's heavy and rich and hangs well in the air in my home. It's so good. I just smile every time I open this clam. So this one's being clubbed for me for sure, at least for a while, and I'm going to melt that all fall long. So then let's go into the other ones. That was with, as far as the combinations, I think I did that on the same day as the Spooky But Sweet. Very Good Pumpkin is one I was a little more unsure about. And my initial idea about this was that it would replace Buckleberry. It's not really going to do that. Then I thought maybe it would be kind of more like, what was that? Tinselberry that had the strawberry and the cranberry and all that a couple years ago. This sort of meets in the middle between those two scents, but the longer that this sits, there's more spice that comes out, so I do really like it. I threw everything into my September shipment for my bi-monthly club because at the moment things are back ordered, so I can't just, I think I did grab one more set of these before it went on back order, but who knows how long that'll take. These are the kind of bars, except for the Hollow Harvest, which I should melt that and then do a review on that one next week or the week after. But I'm not 100% sure that I want to club Very Good Pumpkin and the Pumpkin Sticky Bun, but they're really good. So I want to get a couple more melts under my belt. What I didn't get the first time I gave you guys reviews on this was the really lovely, warm, sparkly spices. And it took the very first time I melted this a full 12 to 14 hours to even find them, and 24 for them to be the main thing in the room, because I did 4 cubes of this in my bedroom when I found that it didn't throw super well out in the open for me. But this bar has strengthened. It is better. So it's got the strawberry, but then it's got the pumpkin. It's got a little bit of more dark berries, and then that beautiful spice. So I would say try this if you haven't, and I'm more pleased with it now than I was the last time I melted it, and that's why, especially with bars that have a lot of different notes in them, I do try to go back and revisit. Really good. Then the Pumpkin Sticky Bun. This is the perfect pumpkin bar if you find pumpkin cinnamon swirl a little bit too sweet, because this still gives you a sticky bun, but it's more low key. And I know that the last couple years, Scentsy, and I'm finding other vendors also, I'm going to be talking about something from Yankee that was very outside of their norm that I picked up just this week. It's brand new for them. We'll get there. But there seems to be, in the last couple years, a trend away from overtly sweet bakery scents to something that's more subtle, where you put it in the warmer and the warmth and the sweetness comes out as a secondary note to more of a, I don't want to use the word savory, but just more of a well-bodied baked good, but not super sweet. And then you get some of the spice or whatever is in whatever scent. Scentsy did it first, but others are now following. So this Pumpkin Sticky Bun, you get some of the coconut cream frosting, and you get the pumpkin, and you do get some pecan, and it's really nice. And honestly, I think 6 months from now, you're gonna get a lot more pecan out of this. So just like the Very Good Pumpkin, both of these are bars I don't want to rush to pass a judgment on, not get any more, and then be mad. The first thing that was really painful for me kind of along these lines a couple years ago was warm pumpkin drizzle. Did not like that bar at first. It was bleh. And now I have 3 left and I'm hoarding them because that was such an unusual combination of pineapple and pumpkin bakery. But after it sat for a year, it got its notes together and it is wonderful. I wish that would come back in the catalog. So this could be the same kind of thing. I don't want to miss out on that particular boat. So at the same time though, I was able to snag in clearance, and it went away really fast, coconut pumpkin pie. I got 10 of these, which is an extraordinary number of bars for me. I never buy that many of anything at once because I wanted to melt this with the pumpkin sticky bun this fall. So I have to wait till I get more of the pumpkin sticky bun. But this is a little bit more overtly bakery. This is an older formula. It smells like a coconut custard spiced pie. It's beautiful, and it's got a little bit of pumpkin, almost gingerbread spice type spice, but very gentle. Oh my gosh, if you guys were able to snag any of this in clearance, melt those two together, it'll be amazing. So then I revisited the last 3 cubes of apple spice season, which will be in our Harvest 5-bar bundle starting September 1st. I'm in love. This is the perfect bar. It's as perfect for me as Cider Mill. Cider Mill is more apple and smooth. This is a slightly more earthy apple, pumpkin, and spice blend, but they're both super crowd pleasing. This is very much like apple pumpkin or pumpkin apple from Yankee, Bath & Body Works, any of those bigger names. So good, you guys. I love it. It's just quintessential perfect fall. Like, you can gift this. No one will hate it. I mean, if you hate it, well, I shouldn't go there. I do not know how you could hate that bar. Anyway, those are great. So then another day, I was just having this incredibly strong craving. As you can tell, I went pretty much full on early fall this week. Kind of ran away from summer. I have a couple of little nods to summer in some of the other rooms, but the main spaces, we were going all fall. So I grabbed 2 of my heavy hitting bakery bars. So 3 thumbs up, which would have to be in your club, and cran apple crumble, which is coming back this fall. I save cran apple crumble in my club for rainy days in the summer, and I really didn't melt it this year until this last week. And oh, you guys, it's rich. This is another bar that when we first got it, I think this will be its 3rd year in the catalog, maybe 4th, but I think 3rd. I was not all that excited because it was another bar where its notes conflicted. So it had the whipped cream, it's got the allspice, it has a little bit of baking spice, and it's got cranberries and it's got apples. And those things did not gel very well. And it was like, I feel like I've got 2 different scents trying to climb out of the warmer all at the same time. I don't like it. But I put that away. A few months later, I'm like, this bar has just fledged. It's emerged out of the chrysalis. And it's so good. And then it's even better when you add the amazing pumpkin bread bakery, beautiful goodness of this. These 2. I don't know what my favorite melt of the week was, but that was a really good one. Okay, now I definitely went into apple land. So I did some of Grandma's Orchard, which is an old retired bar that I love. This is wood and early fall apple orchard sweetness with some pear. Really nice. And that definitely paired well with toasted acorn and oak, which I think is good any time of the year, but especially into the fall. Roasty toasty chestnut, oak, and almost like a sweet nutty goodness. These 2 are great together. Then another day, I went more seriously all apple. So I grabbed apple s'mores, which is one of those bars you just have to be in the mood for. Cedar, marshmallow, coconut milk, graham crackers, and apples. And that's weird. But the cedar is one of the things that really stands out with this bar. It lingers in a nice heavy way in your house. You only need a couple cubes. I only used 3 cubes of this, and that'll probably be my fix. I might use the rest of that bar later this year or even wait till next year. And I did that with apple press. Oh, apple press is so pretty. Red Delicious, that's coming next. Like, I went all apple. This is apple with rose, and it's very September. So good, you guys. So good. So then more apple. Now this is the weirdest pairing I've done in a long time. It was good. And I think it's because both of these are older formulas. They have a very particular rounded sweetness that was a very late 90s, early 2000s scent profile. Mocha Doodle, which for the first time ever, you guys, I successfully melted this. This bar excited me so much because I'm like, I always have bad luck with Mocha Doodle. Let's just try it one more time. It worked. It was gorgeous. It was sweet and creamy and a little bit of chocolate and a little bit of mocha and a little bit of cream. No burnt smell, just great. But what I paired it with was Red Delicious. I'm not talking about sticking any of these things in the same warmer. Unless I tell you it is a direct mix, I'm not throwing that wax into the same warmer, you guys. I'm just alternate warming or alternate rooming the scents. So the Red Delicious is just a really old school 90s apple, gorgeous, almost not quite body care, but it's a lot like the country apple scent that Bath & Body Works was famous for. I have a vivid memory of getting a gift basket for my very first boss, who, oddly enough, I don't work for her anymore, but we still clean the place that used to be a Montessori, now it's a traditional daycare, that I worked at for years. My husband and I still clean that for the woman that I had gotten this gift basket for of a country apple Bath & Body Works products years and years ago. So this bar makes me think of my first boss in the strangest way. It's so neat. So I have a few of these. I clubbed it, but then I realized I'm overflowing with apple scents, so I pulled it again. But I've got a few. Sweet, beautiful 90s apple. And there's a mellowness to both of these that gives you kind of a country store gift shop feeling when you melt these in either alternate rooms or alternate warmers. It was really good. So I would tell you to try that for early fall. I think you might feel like you're at, we have a place here in Michigan called Greenfield Village, and then we have one closer to us called Crossroads Village. The beautiful, restored, old historical tour type places where you can go and see all the famous people's old homes like Thomas Edison and all that kind of stuff. There's just something about this that reminded me of those wonderful historical villages. I don't even know where that came from, but it did. And then on the same day, I did use up some TB's cashmere and apples. This is beautiful. This is a little more body care, but all of them have that soft quality that you want for September. White cashmere woods, beach treats, notes of apples and damp woods, really nice, not super strong. Went very well with those other two bars. So there's that. Okay. Now, randomly somewhere before the RTS, I did melt my sample of Mrs. Teddy Bear, which is very good. Some people I have heard in the TB's community say that this reminds them of apple cherry strudel. In all honesty, I don't agree that much. There are some notes that are similar, but this is one time where I think Scentsy does it better. And apple cherry strudel's now retired, so you can't even get it, but I found this to be nice, but not so good that I wanted to arm wrestle anybody in the RTS for it, because I've got apple cherry strudel in my club, which has far more of that authentic, really good, and I live in Michigan, I know my cherries, pie cherry in it with the apple and the strudel. This was nice, but forgettable to me. Okay, now here's a couple where I don't even know what else I was warming because I just cleared out the warmers in the back room to appreciate them as single scents. I had talked in last week's What I've Been Warming that I've been doing the Ghosts of Harrenhal, and it reminded me of Jack's, but I hadn't melted Jack's. So I melted Jack's this week. Oh, wow. I don't really know if we should try to ask for this in the next pre-order if you're a Teddy Bees person, but after this has sat for many months, this was spectacular. Wet autumn leaves, moss-covered oak trees, cedar wood, hinoki smoke hanging off in the distance. So good. Warm, really earthy, almost sensual fall, but that deep, dark, gorgeous. Oh, I don't even know. I don't have words for it. I loved the smoke in that. It was delicious. But I'm also the person that loves lapsang souchong tea to drink it, and that's very smoky too. So take that with a grain of salt. Now, here's one where you guys will laugh at me. I know that there are a couple of camps with Teddy Bees. One is, thou shalt not touch your wax for a year. And even the woman who pours the wax herself says, leave it for a few weeks and then go ahead and try it. And I totally get with things like bakery and vanilla that you're not going to get the best performance right away. But in the pre-order, I got a souffle of the long night. And my older daughter and I just fell so hard for this. Cocoa butter, cashmere, tonka, oud wood, and marshmallow fireside. I have loved this. I've slivered it out for however many weeks, 2 or 3 weeks since I got my box. And I'm so glad that I did a wax swap with a new friend. And she's one of those that is very patient, but she didn't care for this. So thank you. You know who you are. I will not touch this until it's cured. But I now have a whole loaf because of a sweet friend who was willing to wax swap with me of what I think is one of the most delicious, addictive scents. Cocoa butter, cashmere, tonka, oud wood, and marshmallow fireside. I cannot get enough of this. And I did snag a tub in the RTS also, which I will need to be patient and just put it away. But even green, I can't get enough of that scent. There is something about the velvetiness of that cashmere cocoa butter thing, and then the tonka and the oud is just phenomenal. I want a perfume in that. It was amazing. Okay, so now I'm going to get to that other company I was telling you about, where I feel like they stole, just for one of these scents, a page out of Scentsi's newer way of doing bakery. And I don't mind it, but Yankee Candle just put out pumpkin cinnamon swirl, their own. It does not smell anything like Scentsi's this year. And I was just at my local Meijer's, which is where I typically get my stash of Yankee. And then I typically swap with my friend Robin, who's in Canada. She can't get Yankee up there, and she loves some of the scents. So I'm always stocking that mostly for her. But this is new. It's good, but it doesn't smell like a pumpkin cinnamon roll. It smells like, just like those other infuriating Scentsy scents, where I like the smell, but it does not compute to my brain that this is a true bakery scent. It's almost like it's a warm, gourmand, atmospheric scent for the home. And this was very nice, but I can't tell you what notes are in this. It doesn't really smell like pumpkin. It doesn't really smell like vanilla. It doesn't really smell like frosting. It doesn't really smell like roll. But it smells yummy. So I don't know. If you like to try the Yankee ones, which work just fine in a Scentsy warmer, they do pretty well. Go ahead and find that. Now, here's one where I can tell you what it smells like, and I got a couple more of these at my local Meijer's. Pumpkin Maple Cream Caramel. Now, it doesn't smell like a custard to me. It smells like a pancake, a really good Saturday morning pancake. I love this scent. It's so yummy. So it's got a little bit of the pumpkin spice. It's got a little bit of that caramel, but it smells like the best, fluffiest, beautiful plate of maple pumpkin pancakes. Mostly the maple. Gorgeous. And I tried some of, because I'm trying to use up, trying so hard in July and August to grab the things that I just need to use them up and move on with my life so that the barrage of fall winter things that you know is coming down the pike have a place to land. Autumn Embers. This was just kind of, yeah, I don't even know what was in it. I put it in a few warmers, couldn't really smell it. It's just kind of vaguely woodsy. Unfortunately, this was not Yankee's best moment, but that's okay. Anyway, so I tend to only bring out my Yankee for fall and winter because I don't really care for most of their spring, summer scents enough, but there's some nostalgia factor with Yankee that I don't want to be missing out on fall, winter. So this was great though. Get some. Okay, today, before we get into anything I was doing, bedrooms, basement, that kind of stuff, last open air melt out here. I am having some company over later, and I put in Bonfire Beach, which I love, so good. Club this, get a stack. I just did a video that I will be putting out probably after the What I've Been Warming of the things that were the standouts for spring, summer that you really need to either club or get a stack of, or just really think about purchasing certain warmers before the stroke of midnight between the 31st of August and September 1st. Bonfire Beach is at the top of that list. It's so good. And then I love Scentsi's Palo Santo, which I know there will be a lot of booing and, not very nice things said on the other side of the camera. I really like this. I always have. It's a sharp, smoldery, but rather authentic summer beach wood. And it's really good with Bonfire Beach. So I've got this going in the back room, and I've got Bonfire Beach going in the rest of the main space. And that just smells like late summer to me. I love it. Okay, now, I've told you guys how much I love raspberry hibiscus tea. I think it was just an off day. I put one of these in a mini warmer, and I was planning on doing more in the house. It was just too much for me on that particular day. I don't know if this bar is just cured and it's gotten so strong, but this is a great scent. If you have trouble scenting your space, raspberry hibiscus tea is a home run. It's a boomer. It was just a little bit too much for me the other day. So it's got a tea note. It's got, to me, almost like a dried orange peel note and a lot of raspberry, but again, it's like a dried concentrated raspberry and hibiscus scent. It's nice, but that was a lot. Okay, so same friend that sent me that beautiful loaf of the long night sent me a few other things to try because I'm not a vendor wax person. So she gave me some second and spruce, which I've never had. And this is one of the ones I wanted to try. And she reassured me that unless it was Teddy B's, everything she had was good to go immediately. So I put this in the warmer. There is a beautiful sweet complexity to this. Now, this wax is weird. I have to say, this is some sticky stuff. Palo Santo, Mallow Fireside, Vanilla Bean Mallow, and Blackberry. It was great. She gave me a couple Christmas tree ones too. Oh my gosh, these are amazing. But this was really good, and I wanted to do it with a mix. So I grabbed around the campfire and blackberry from our raspberry vanilla Scentspirations, the black raspberry woods bar. Put a cube of each of these in some warmers to go with the second and spruce thing. It was really nice. Good late summer, early fall with all that sort of incense, all the palo, the dark berries. Nice smell. This would actually be good in October too, so that was good. Okay, now what do I have left here? I've got some bedrooms and I've got some basement. So the basement's pretty brief. Blooming Marvelous I put down there just to get rid of the clam because I've been doing more sorting, trying to, as I said, make room for things. This was so nondescript, and I'm afraid it's one of the ones where I could barely smell this, even the whole clam in my basement. So supposed to be amber and strawberries and stuff, couldn't smell it much. Rustic Lodge. Did a whole bar of this over 2 days for my husband because I said, what do you want, while he was watching TV? He's like, I need some like fall goodness. This is the perfect man cave smell. I love this. I love this. It's got the smoke. It's got that pine. It's got that really deep, almost like cedar log cabin thing. I love this bar. Can't say enough good about that. Okay, and then this is kind of funny. Key West ice cream and cake. This was good, but it's not one that I would get again just because the longevity was odd. So this is supposed to have from Teddy B's the best key limes in Florida blended with creamiest vanilla ice cream, toasted graham crackers, and a side of rich white cake and sea salt air. It was great, except that first you get the lime and that burns off almost immediately. Then you get the graham crackers, that goes away. Then all you're left with is really sort of limey, salty sea air. And it isn't that I don't mind the salty sea air, but with these notes, I just would probably get a different lime scent from her in the future. It's just an odd way that the scent pyramid petered out one at a time. And it was a scent where you thought, oh, that's really nice. And then it would change so much that I wasn't sure that I liked all of the different levels on it as it disappeared out of the warmer. Okay, we're gonna get to bedrooms now. A lot of you that do Teddy B's or vendor wax, you chop everything up like this. This was from my dear friend Robin, who found that this rose thing in here wasn't her favorite. And I have a question for you. I am really careful not to chop all my wax at once. I'm going to be using this. This was whole for months and months. This one was poured last year. This is about 10 months old. This Kiss Me Goodnight. I try to keep mine in whole chunks until I think I'm going to be using it up soon, and then I sliver them up and keep them in my tubs. Or if I have loaves, I do not cut up the whole loaf. I just cut out my slivers and then I use those. I have more of this cashmere bubble bath, and it performs quite well in my room, but that's in a whole loaf and I only cut out the slivers. This is the exact same pour. I did not find that this did much of anything for me, and I don't know if it's just because maybe I didn't seal the bag correctly or what, but it just didn't have a lot of scent. So if you guys are longtime vendor wax people, how do you best store your scents so that it keeps all of the oils and its integrity? Because like I said, I'm trying to be very, very careful. Let's just use this as an example. I haven't cut into this. I won't for months because I have more and all that. But if I'm going to use up something where I know, well, not use it up. If I'm going to use something where I know I'm only going to use a little bit, I just cut out what I need and I reseal it and I put it back away where the sun don't shine. Or like with these guys, both of these, I'm trying to kind of move the wax. I don't like these enough to keep them for the rest of my life. I'm not hoarding them. So the Kiss Me Goodnight, this was so beautiful in my warmers last week because it's been sitting around for a good 8 months now. Cozy cashmere blankets, warm, woody notes, vanilla, hints of plum, hot tea, and amber. Oh my gosh, I need to put some more of this in my warmer this week. Oh, but I've been careful not to chop it till I knew I would use it pretty soon, I mean. And this was sharp a few months ago when I first tried it. Gorgeous now. Then the night before Christmas, this is not my favorite. It's sort of a weird pine and flannel smell. Flannel sheets, warm cashmere, vanilla blended with the scent of Christmas trees, but it's good for like a bedroom, bathroom, or basement. And this has mellowed a little. It's sort of a medium level throw, kind of a unique scent. Not my favorite, but both of those, I did not cut them till I'm just like ready to move them. So give me your thoughts about that kind of thing. And some of you double bag and all that kind of stuff. So then what else do I have here? I did some of Happy Go Lucky, which I had gotten an extraordinary bar of this and put it in my club. This bar didn't have as much oil and it was nice, but it wasn't as good. So if my continued bars don't have the amount of depth that that first bar did, I'm going to pull it from my club because I really liked it, but it's got to have all the notes. I felt like this one was missing more of the plum and the orchid. Pink, pineapple, and sugar. I have this going in my bedroom right now. It's so nice. This is current summer collection. If they run out of it on the website, you can get it in club. Beautiful, creamy body scrub, sugar, pineapple goodness. And then sandalwood and tangerine. You need to club this if you love it. It's not going forward into our spring or fall winter catalog. So nice though. I'm not clubbing this because I won't melt a lot of it. This is the first bar I've melted in like 2 years. But it's a really nice with sandalwood, a little bit of warmth and wateriness, and some good mellow orange. Very, very nice. So that is everything I've been melting, which is a lot. I am so excited about all the Scentsy goodness, that's coming down the pike. And there will be more things with teddy bees in the near future here. If any of you, I don't think any of us have gotten an RTS order yet, but if any of you are TB's people and you got the Ghost of Christmas Past and you smelled it, please put a comment down for me. When you watch this video, I'm dying to know what that's like. I could not get it. It looks amazing. I'm hoping it'll be in the pre-order. Anyway, so this is Elizabeth with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Oh, and definitely go and get yourself some Yankee if you are feeling nostalgic, because their fall scents are just fantastic. And of course, most important, check out my website when it comes to anything spring, summer that we will not get back, and enjoy all of your Scentsy. As I said, I did another video where I sort of highlighted a top 10 of things that I've been melting a lot of and warmers that I would draw your attention to before they either raise in price or go away for good and all that jazz. So I will be on vacation for a few days this coming week. So do not expect videos between like the weekend and maybe next Thursday. So probably there will be a gap in the what I've been warming. This will be the last what I've been warming for 2 weeks. And, you know, I'll try to get some stuff up as soon as possible, but there will be a gap in your regularly scheduled programming on the channel Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents because I'm going to Petoskey. Have a great day, guys. God bless. Bye-bye.